Guys, it's Debbie with Cooking with Driftwood and Shine coming on tonight. Welcome to my kitchen. We're going to make us some stewed squash. First of all, we're just going to take our onion and cut it. I do have 2 onions in this, guys, but I'm just showing y'all one of them. We're going to dice it, but it doesn't have to be small dices. Now we're just peeling this outer layer. Okay, I'm gonna cut it into, and I've already cut the root off. I shouldn't have cut the root off, but I have, so it's okay. Now we're just gonna slice it up. And like I said, it doesn't have to be real small slices, guys. Onions. Now, you know, cut them to your preference, like I've told you a million times. Just cutting up our onion. And he didn't stay all good in there, but that's okay. Because we're not dicing him small anyway. So that's 2 medium-sized onions. And I've got 3 yellow squash and 3 zucchini, green squash. Whoops. Zucchini is this. And this is yellow squash. And this is straight neck squash. But we're just going to cut slices. And you cut about the same size slice, guys, because you want it to kind of cook even. Like I've told y'all a million times, you want it to cook even. So just slicing it up about the same size. I've already washed these real good. Make sure you wash them real good, because you know they do grow in the garden. Gardens have dirt. So wash them up real good. And see, you just want them to slice about like that. I just realized I'm using the same pan that doesn't have a lid. Oh boy. But that's okay. That's okay. Just slicing the green ones up the same way. These are zucchinis. And guys, you can, this is the way you slice them to fry them too. We're not frying them today. We are going to have fried this week because I've got some more. But I'm cooking for Sunny tonight because she's working, you know, her 12-hour shift. This is her second day. That just had a bad spot I didn't like the looks of, guys, so I just cut it right off. Okay, now, I want to show you. I have cooked off some bacon. I'm going to take the bacon up. You know what? I actually may not take the bacon up right now. I'll leave the bacon in right now. I'm going to leave it in so that it can help season your squash. We've got a big old pan of squash. We're going to cook a few and then put a few more in after those cook down a little bit. And we're going to do these the same way, guys, that we did our potatoes and onions. We're just going to kind of let them stew. Got a little piece of onion skin right there. We're just going to kind of let them stew. I'm putting the potatoes, I'm putting the okra and the onions all in at the same time. And like I said, we're just going to let them stew down just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and salt them. So we've got our bacon grease in there and then our salt. And we're going to put just a tiny, tiny bit of water. Let me go get the water. The reason you don't want much water, guys, these squash will cook out some water. But you don't want them floating in water when they get done, or I don't want them floating in water when they get done. Let me see what I can use as the lid today. I don't know. You know what's so strange is I had lids. I had all the lids, and now I can't find but one lid. Who knows? Well, I've got these cookie sheets, cookie tins that I bought from the Dollar Tree. So we'll just use one of them. Let me rinse it off real quick. And my cast iron is clean, guys, but the reason I didn't cook in cast iron, for some of you new cooks, you know, newly married people that may watch this and learn, I don't want them to think, well, dog, I don't have cast iron, so I can't cook. Because you can cook just about anything you make in regular pans. You just want your pan heavy duty enough that your vegetables or whatever you're cooking is not gonna scorch on the bottom. And you have to keep them stirred. Like I always turn this thing down to about 4 because mine cooks fast. And right now I'm just wanting to stew them down a little bit. So I'm going to come back in a little bit. After these have stewed down a little bit, we'll come back and put the rest of them in, okay? I'll be back in just a little bit. All right, bye. Okay, guys, we're back. We're going to take the lid off. They have cooked down some. We're going to go ahead and put more in. I'm just going to spread them around. Guys, squash cooked down just like when we were cooking collards the other day. Oh, well, a couple months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. Squash cooked down the same way, guys. They cooked way down. Okay, I stirred them before I brought it to y'all, so they're good. Okay, guys, it's Debbie again. We're back. We're going to put the rest of our squash and onion in the pan. It's cooking down real good. I'm keeping it stirred, keeping the part that's getting tender stirred to the top. But you can use, like when you do this, guys, if you're doing a big old pan like this, you can go ahead and use a big pan. I started to use a big pan, but the only one I have is a little thin, and I don't like the fact that it'll scorch on the bottom really quick. Okay, we're just going to put our makeshift top right back over there, and I'll be back in a little bit. Hey guys, it's Debbie back. Our squash now, as you can see in here, is cooking down pretty good. I'm keeping them stirred. I decided to go ahead and leave the bacon in. We can always take it out. But when it gets this done, I leave my lid off so that some of that water will cook out, because I'm not a fan of having a whole bunch of water in my squash. And I want to show you, if you can see how much water is in there. And we didn't put but just a teeny tiny bit of water because the squash cook out water, see? So you don't want to put too much water in there. And I'm just going to let them cook a little while because they're just about done. When they get real tender and start kind of falling apart, they're done to me. Now, we like ours maybe a little bit more done than some. But let me tell you while we're talking. When you're cooking squash or something, you know, I used bacon grease to season it, because if you don't season squash good, now I'm not saying you can't use like olive oil or whatever, you can, but make sure you have enough salt in them that they're seasoned, because to me, squash is not good unless it's, you know, got seasoned right and got some salt. It's just not good. So anyhow, they're all cooking apart, so they're done. So I'm going to just turn them down on low and let them cook a little while I finish the other part of supper. And I will taste them later to make sure they have enough salt. That's something you want to make sure when you're cooking. Make sure you taste it. Make sure you have enough salt, guys.